time in here, welcome to the live. If you've been here before, welcome back. All right. So usually 3 days a week, right? I do a motivational live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we are back to that. Today is Monday, right? I usually tell you guys the time, but we are here. So I like to start off I like to start my day off by doing what I'm about to do right now. It's called being thankful and grateful. But I'm actually going to do it with you guys today too. T Glam in the building. We got a super fan in the building. Now listen, let's start like this. Thank you for allowing me to be able to wake up today, for being able to see, for being able to feel, for being able to hear. Thank you for being able to walk and talk. Thank you for the breath in my lungs and the hope in my heart. Thank you for another chance at life. Thank you for allowing me to be at peace with myself internally, physically, mentally, emotionally. Thank you for allowing me to bring peace to people when I talk, when I speak, when I bring my presence, right? Our biggest presence is our presence. So thank you for allowing me to be healthy, happy, rejuvenated. Thank you for allowing me to take another step forward, even when I don't know what's next. Thank you for allowing me to lead by example, not to just show the way, but to go the way. Thank you for allowing me to connect with people all around the world, every different race, ethnicity, background, culture, religion. There is only one race, and that is us, the human race. So I'm just so grateful. Thank you for the roof over my head, the food in my refrigerator. Thank you just for allowing me to be present in this moment and feel the presence of you. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Amen. All right. Now listen, the topic, the conversation, right? The topic of the day is becoming someone your younger self would feel safe with. Becoming your younger self, right? Becoming someone that your younger self would feel safe with. All right. Now let me ask you something for real. Let me ask you something for real. All right. If your younger self could see you today, would you feel safe? Right? This is not something you got to answer in the chat, but if your younger self could see you today, would they feel safe? Would they be not impressed? Would they be proud? Would they not be proud? Think about your younger self for a moment. You don't got to answer that in the chat. This is between you and you. Right? But just think about that. Think about that younger version of you, right? That younger version of you that whether it felt good or whether it felt in a moment of your life where you felt stuck, whatever it is, think that at younger self. Steady the goddess in the building. What's up, Steady? We got a super fan in the building. Listen, all right? Because listen, at the same point, right? At some point in your life, success stops being about money. It stops being about titles. It stops being about getting applause, right? And it starts being about peace. The older you become, money doesn't become success anymore. The titles that people give you, whether it's from your friends or your family relationship, that's not the really important part. It's not about people clapping for you and seeing the things you're doing behind the scenes when nobody's watching and people giving you approval. As you get old, you stop caring about that type of stuff and you start really caring about how much peace can you have. That's what it boils up being. Because literally, some of you guys make good money. Some of you guys have great relationships. Some of you guys are in the place you want to be. Some of you guys are not. But most of us are like, yo. Either you felt peace and you want to stay there, or you're like, yo, I'll do anything to get there at this point in my life. I'll do anything to feel at peace. And then you get to the point where you don't want to trade it for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? For a lot of us, growing up wasn't about feeling safe. I'm going to say that one more time. For a lot of us, growing up, it wasn't about feeling safe. It was about surviving. That's not all of us. I'm saying some of us. Some of you guys had an amazing child. I had great times. But there was times in my life where I was like surviving. I watched my mom survive. I watched my dad survive. I watched my aunts and uncles survive. I watched my sisters and brothers survive. We was in survival mode majority of our lives, right? We learned to be strong early. We learned to read different moods. We learned to read the room. We managed our emotions. We stayed alert. We became resilient, but we did it. right? It wasn't, we just survived. It wasn't about feeling safe for us. It was about surviving. We had to survive, right? So many moments in our lives. It was like, man, like I don't even know what it felt like to be safe because I was just worried about surviving. You get what I'm saying? So as adulthood, right? It isn't just about growing up. It's about reparenting yourself. I'm going to say that one more time. It's about reparenting yourself. Being that person, that parent you today, you might not have kids or not, but I'm talking about if you right now, if your younger self could see you right now, what would you teach that younger version? What would you show them? Where would you take them? Think about those things, right? Because most of us say when we have kids, we don't want our kids to live the life we lived. We want them to have better. We want them to have things we didn't have. So a lot of us go hard. A lot of you guys go really hard to create that lifestyle. Tiff, welcome in. We got a super fan in the building, right? So again, being an adult isn't just about growing up. It's about reparenting yourself. You're not waiting for society to tell you how to be grown. You're not waiting for your bills to smack in your face. You're not waiting for your job. You're like, yo, I got to do this myself. So the question is, what do you read on a daily basis? Are you reading something that's going to help you elevate your life? What do you listen to on a daily basis? Maybe you're a person that really ain't got time, but you drive to work or you on the bus or whatever. Put an audio in your ear that's going to help you elevate your life. Maybe you want a better relationship. You should be listening to shit that doesn't help you have a better relationship. Maybe you want to be better financially. You should be listening to financial literacy. Maybe you want to be a better person. You should listen to confident things, right? I'm telling you, unless you're tuned into somebody who's teaching you something, other than that, I'm not locked in, right? It's about becoming the person your younger self needed, but you never had. That's what life turns into. Becoming the person your younger self needed, but you never had. Does that make sense? Right? It's reparenting yourself. Healing looks like greatness, right? Where you were focused to be tough. You were literally forced to be tough, right? I'm telling you, healing looks like gentleness when you were forced to be tough. That's what healing looks like. When the times where they would get you really upset, there's moments where it's the things that really trigger you because it triggered you. You've seen it in your past. Healing looks like gentleness when you were taught to be tough. You were taught to fight. You were taught to protect. You were taught to stand on business. But healing looks like in those same spaces, you could be gentle. You don't got to debate somebody. You don't got to get caught up in an argument with your mom or your spouse or your baby mom or your baby dad or whatever you want to, whatever, your sisters. It looks like gentleness, like, you know what? I understand why you feel what you feel. And even though I might not feel what you feel, I still understand why you feel what you feel. You get what I'm saying? Healing looks like choosing peace over chaos, right? Not because chaos isn't exciting, but because your nervous system deserves a break. So you choose peace over chaos. You choose to say nothing versus indulge in an argument. Thank you for the love, Bebasita. Right? You choose to be calm and chill and relaxed versus putting my energy into something that's going to make my nervous system go through the roof. Your nervous system deserves a break. It does. You see why we got so much anxiety and depression? There's a lot of things we put ourselves through from things we learned as a kid because we're taught to be so tough and survive and protect and stand on our business that we can't even give ourselves a break sometimes and say, you know what? This situation doesn't deserve my reaction. This situation doesn't deserve my opinion. This situation doesn't deserve me to react. I could just hear and listen and go, that's what's up. Ain't got shit to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got to say that, but it could be like, I'm just listening. I'm healing. I'm growing. You get what I'm saying? It looks like, healing looks like saying no without feeling guilty. How many of us have said no and felt guilty about it? You know what I'm saying? You say no to your kids, or you say no to your partner, and you feel guilty as hell for saying no. or they make you feel guilty. Healing looks like saying no without feeling guilty. That's what it looks like. You get what I'm saying? Because the younger version of you didn't always have that choice.
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you for the follow. See, when you become someone your younger self would feel safe with, you stop abandoning yourself to keep everybody else comfortable. I'm going to say that one more time. When you become someone your younger self would feel safe with, you stop abandoning yourself to keep others comfortable. If I'm trying to make you comfortable, but I feel unhinged or I feel uneased, you're abandoning yourself to make somebody else feel good. How does that make sense? All you're doing is swapping places. That's all you're doing. You're just swapping places. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. If I'm trying to help somebody find themselves, but in the process I lose myself. Thank you, King. And in the process I lose myself, all I did was just swap places. So now I'm lost and you're found. Does that make sense? That don't make any sense doing that. You got to get to the point where you say, you know what? I got to do something that makes me feel good. And in the process, if it makes you feel good too, great. But if it doesn't, I can't be like, oh man, you're not comfortable with me growing. When you start growing and people are uncomfortable with you growing, that just shows, that's a sign that they're not meant to be a part of that season. If people are upset because you're growing, or they're upset because you're not arguing, or they're upset because you chose peace, and they're like, oh man, you're acting different. No, I'm acting healed. I'm acting healed. That's what I'm doing. I'm letting you feel what I feel. I feel healed. I don't think this deserves a reaction. I'm just listening to you. Thank you, Bebasita. I'm just listening to you. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to debate with you. Thank you for the love, Steady. Thank you for taking. Look, we already taking the gift gallery already. Now listen, man. Here's what I'm saying, man. Stop normalizing pain just because it feels familiar. Oh, that just gave me the chills right now. Because there's times where you're talking with your friends or your family. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, King. You're talking with your friends and your family, right? Or whoever it is, or your spouse, right? And you're not realizing you're connecting, like you're trauma bonded, right? You and your friends are going through the same shit at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all over here like, oh, me too. Oh, and you realize you're trauma bonding. You're not goal bonding. You're not bonding with goals and where you want to go. You're bonding in pain. You're bonding in hurt. And what you got to realize is the more we stay around that, the more it becomes familiar. And what do we like to do as human beings? We like to do things that's familiar. Why do you think people say that saying, oh, no new friends? I think this is so bullshit. No new friends. I want to make as many new friends as possible. Because it's the new people that's going to come into your life and show you things and teach you things and add to your life that you didn't even know was possible. I'm always welcoming new people. Because I'm so healed at this point. There is nothing you can take from me. All I got is nothing but love for people. You know why? Because all I got is nothing but love for me. So it overflows. So anybody around me be like, man, you got good energy, man. It just, like, I don't even have to say anything. Like, man, it just seems like all these good things happen to you. And I'm just like, because I focus on good shit. I could get up today and be stuck in traffic and be like, oh, man, this is freaking driving me crazy. Or I could get up today, be stuck in traffic and be like, thank God I got a car. Right? Thank God I ain't got to walk. I remember when I used to take the bus, I could be like, thank God I'm alive. Thank God I'm not in a car accident. Right? I'm just like, I could think of so many things that could be positive in the midst of things that I could stress about. But why? You get what I'm saying? So stop normalizing pain just because it feels familiar. Stop calling survival strength when it costs you your joy. Seriously, Tiffany, what's going on, baby? Right? We call survival strength because we survived most of our lives. So we see that as strength. I'm not saying it's not strength, but we're looking at it as if that's our strongest attribute we have. Yeah, I know how to survive, so ain't nobody going. Listen, we're tired of surviving. We want to thrive. We want to feel alive. I want to be present. I want to enjoy the moment, because survival mode most of the time takes away your joy because you're thinking about how to survive versus let me be present right now and enjoy this moment. I'm not thinking about no future things. The past is the past. I got to leave one of my hands free. I can't think about the past and the future. How can I be present if my hands is full? I got to let one of them go, so I'm letting the past go. I can't do nothing to change it. I can't do nothing to change it. All I can do is be a better person today. All I can do is say loving things today. All I can do is show up today. I can't show up tomorrow like for yesterday. I can't show up for yesterday. And tomorrow's not guaranteed. So all I can do is show up today. You get what I'm saying? Thank you for the love, Bebasita. Right? So hear what I'm saying. Stop calling survival strength when it's costing your joy. Okay? I'm gonna tell you what feels good. Safety is consistency. When you're consistent with something, you're not worried about where your next dollar is coming from. You're not worried about if your relationship is strong. You're not worried about if people talk behind your back. When you're consistent, the people who are meant to be around will be around. The things that are meant to come to your life will come to your life. But some of us miss blessings because we're not consistent enough. Like you show up one day with a great attitude and tomorrow you're like, oh, it's just one of those days. We can't afford just one of those days anymore, because that could be the day where somebody might say some amazing shit or might be offering an amazing job or giving an amazing opportunity. But because you're like, it's just not one of them days. They coming by, you're like, oh, not that person. They just seem mad. I don't want to, take them off. They seem already mad, and you miss out. You know what I'm saying? When you wake up, the first thing you should do is be like, I don't even touch my phone. I don't pet my dog. I don't greet my partner. I'm just like, I open my eyes and I'm like, thank you, God, for waking me up today. Like I could complain about mad things about yesterday, but I'm not. Because it's a new day. You didn't have to wake me up. Like God took each and one of your names and he put your name on a wake up list. He literally wrote your names on a wake up list. He was like, Sarah, wake up, right? He was like, Steady to Goddess, wake up. Naomi, wake up. Bebasita, wake up. Lisa, wake up. Mia, wake up. Even though it could have been a shitty day yesterday. Victoria, wake up. Yvette, wake up. But guess what? There was somebody yesterday who was making mad plans for today. They're like, yo, Monday, it's going to be the best day. Monday, I'm going to start my business. Monday, I'm going hard. Monday, I'm getting on my fitness shit. Monday, I'm going to start loving myself. And guess what? They didn't get to wake up today. So think about that. The things that you're about to take for granted today, somebody was going to be excited about today. Somebody was about to make a change today. Somebody was ready to do something different today. Somebody was going to be the change in their own life today. So think about that before you start thinking about all the negative things that are going on in your life. And start thinking about maybe God is just testing me to see how strong I really am. Maybe he's testing me to put the right people in my life. Maybe it's testing me to see if I'm really going to go after what I said I'm going to go after. It's always a test. It's always a lesson in everything we come across. So safety is consistency. When you show up consistency, you're not worried about where my next dollar or who's in my life or who's not. I'm so consistent that people are going to love on me regardless. I'm going to love on me regardless. So the ones who want to show up are going to show up. The ones who don't, hey, it don't matter. Safety is keeping your word to yourself. You want to feel real safety? Then do what you say you're going to do. Even if you don't want to do it, like, man, I'm going to work out 4 times this week. And then you choose the days you're going to do it. And then it gets to that day, it's like, it's Monday. I did say I was going to work out. I could do it tomorrow. You know what? No, I'm actually going to do it today. Because I said I'm going to do it today. But I really don't want to. I said I'm going to do it, period. See, we want people to stick to their words. But sometimes we don't even stick to our own words. And even though nobody knows that's your words, you know that's your words. You know you said what you wanted. I might not have heard you say that, but you heard yourself say that. You said it to yourself. So that's all that matters. If you keep your word to yourself, then you have no problem keeping your word to people. You have no problem keeping your word to your kids. You got no problem keeping your word to your partner. It becomes so simple to do that. You're like, man, I don't lie to myself. I stopped lying to myself a long time ago. If I said I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Now, if I didn't say it, then I ain't going to do it because I didn't say it. But I'm honest. I'm like, that's why I have a to-do list. Every day, the night before, I make my to-do list, what I'm going to do. I write it down. And then I try to check everything off. And I put the most important things. I really put a real star next to those the most important things that I really want to make happen. Just in case I get too busy, I want to make sure the most important things get knocked out. You get what I'm saying? Safety is consistency. Safety is keeping your word to yourself. Safety is choosing people, environments, and habits that don't require you to shrink. That's what safety feels like, and only you can bring that safety to yourself. Again, imagine if you were the person your younger version of you needed. What would safety feel like? Safety would mean showing up for yourself every day. Safety would mean keeping your word to yourself. Safety would mean you're choosing the right people. You're choosing the right environments. You're choosing the right habits that don't require you to shrink yourself. I'm not choosing to hang out with people who just are negative or talk down or belittle me. Not no relationship, no friendship, no familyship where I allow that. Where I gotta shrink myself to make people feel good. Or where it sounds like when I'm talking about good news, it sounds like I'm bragging. I don't hang out with people like that. They be like, oh, well, lucky you. I hang out with people that celebrate my success, that celebrate my goals, that celebrate me keeping my word. And even if you only got one of those, hey, you lived a great life. If you leave this world with 2 good people in your life, 2 good people, you had an amazing life. Keep that in mind. You get what I'm saying? But make sure you're one of those good people in somebody else's life. You're one of those people that don't pick all the bullshit that happens in their life. You celebrate the good things. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're one of those people in somebody's lives. So all they need is one more. All right? Again, safety is consistency. Safety is keeping your word to yourself. Safety is choosing people, environments, atmospheres, habits that don't require you to shrink. Okay? Your younger self doesn't need perfection. It needs protection. And in order to provide that protection, you got to do what you said you're going to do. Right? Your younger you, they need to know someone finally has their back. I don't know if you guys ever heard me say this before, but I said there was a point in my life when I was so negative. I was so down and out and depressed. And then one day something just smacked me in my head. It was like, nobody's coming to save you, man. Like, it's nobody's job to literally stop their life to come and save me. I was like, you have to be the person you are looking for. You have to put on your own cape. Because God isn't waking me up by mistake. He's like, I'm putting you through the ringer. Because I know you are going to be the person that leads a lot of people. But I didn't see it. I didn't know that. I didn't know I'd be sitting here or standing here talking like this. I couldn't even have imagined it, to be honest. I would have been like, yeah, right. You joking, guy, right? I'm doing that. I can't even motivate myself. That's crazy. You get what I'm saying? But I'm so, I got the chills right now. I'm so thankful I went through those tough moments in my life where I was literally falling apart. I literally didn't know what my next step was. There was times I didn't even know what my next meal was going to be. But every day I got to wake, I said, God is waking me up for some reason. I don't know why he ain't just call me home, because this ain't it. It was like, yo, there was a way bigger plan than I could even envision. And I'm so grateful to be standing here today to be able to give that energy to other people, even when I couldn't see the vision. That's power, man. That's power. I never doubt God, boy. I don't even question God. If something happened, I don't be like, why God? I'll just be like, there's something in here you're trying to show us right now. There's something in here right now. I promise you, when the devil think he winning, God always shows up, boy. When the devil be like, yeah, God be, oh, you thought, yeah, I was on break, boy. You like, I was taking a little break, but boy, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So listen, the younger version of you needs to know someone finally has their back. You understand what I'm saying? And that someone is you. Not somebody else you're looking and hoping for. I know some of us can't wait to have a partner who's going to fucking make you feel complete. Can't wait to have a friend who's going to celebrate all your success. But you know what? You know who's going to be that friend first? You. Because you have to know what that even looks like to even identify it when it pops up. Because you might have somebody who does, but you don't even realize it because you're talking down about yourself and they're talking good about you, and you don't receive it. You're like, whatever. You're just trying to be nice. You're just trying to gas me up. Stop. They're like, no, I'm literally trying to speak positive. Nah, that's not me. Right? And you're missing out. That's why boundaries matter. That's why rest matters. I've never really understood why getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep really mattered. That was never me. I would be able to function on 3 hours and be perfectly fine. But never understood what was happening when my body was resting. How my body was healing itself. Especially when you're working out, how your body starts to grow. That's where all the growing happens. That's where all the sicknesses get healed when you're sleeping. And I didn't understand it. I just thought, get rest. I'm like, man, I'll sleep when I die. I don't think like that no more. I'll be literally cutting my clock. I'm like, I'm getting 8 hours today, boy. I do not disturb for 8 hours. For real. I'm like, that's mad important now. You know what I'm saying? So this is why boundaries matter. This is why rest matters. This is why healing matters. Not to erase your past. All right? But to make sure you never recreate your past. That's the point. To never recreate your past. The moment you start realizing your kids are going through the things you went through, you got to start reevaluating your life. And you're going, what? Why am I recreating my past? Now daddy got to live it. You used to see your mom and dad probably argue. Now you and this guy always argues, or you and your girl argue all the time. And it's like, yo, I'm recreating my past. That's why I always highly recommend for everybody. I don't care who you are, where you're from, how good your life is. There's nothing wrong with having a therapist. I think everybody should have a therapist. I promise you. If you find the right one, there's things that you're like ruining right now, relationships you're ruining right now, people, because there's things in your past that you just don't know how to fix. There's things that you suppress. They don't even know it's effing you up. I swear. I'm talking about a therapist just for you, not just related, just you. So you can show up in your next friendship healed. You can show up in your next relationship healed. Could you just sit here and think about what the healed version of you would even look like? Could you even imagine? Would that even feel like? Would that even look like? Right? Literally, think about that. So it's not to erase your past, it's to make sure you don't recreate it. When you live in a way that honors the child you once was, hear me what I said. When you live in the way that honors the child that you once was, your decisions get clearer. Think about the things that you wanted as a parent. You're like, man, what do you wish your parents would have did different? Then now you become that parent. You got to reparent yourself before you even parent your kids. Because there's things you're teaching them by accident you don't even know. There's things you're showing them that's like, I never healed that version of me, so I can't really show you. I don't know what that looks like. You get what I'm saying? So when you live in a way that honors the child you once was, your decisions get clearer. You stop chasing relationships that feel chaotic and you start choosing ones that feel steady. They feel consistent. They feel like joy. They feel like we're going to do this together. It feels like me and you versus the problem. Not you causing a problem or me causing a problem. No. You understand what I'm saying? You stop confusing and intensity with love. We stop thinking that people are getting loud because they're passionate when really they're getting loud because they're getting angry. Deep down inside, something is really bothering them. They're like, I'm just passionate. No, you're just loud. Love can be gentle too. You know what I'm saying? Love could be firm and steady and still gentle. And you can still get your point across. Even talking like this. You know what I'm saying? Even talking like this. But get to that point in your life, right? You stop confusing intensity with love. You stop mistaking exhaustion for ambition. We're so exhausted. You're like, man, but I'm just grinding so hard. No, you need to rest. You need to rest. You need to have, that's why I call Saturdays self-love Saturdays. That's why we call Saturdays in this chat self-love Saturdays. I don't care if it's just 15 minutes of you just sitting to yourself and you just listening to yourself. Or you just, whatever it is. Maybe it's folding clothes for you. Maybe it's walking in the park. Maybe whatever. As long as you got that just alone moment, you can just be in a shower. In a bathroom, just to yourself. Just feel your own presence. Feel your own energy. Where is it going? Who's shifting it? Am I in control of this or somebody else's? Like, this is me. This is mine. You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. All right? So, without even realizing it, when you start doing that, you become home. You become home. Hey, Breezy, what's up? Right? You become home. When you stop confusing intensity with love, when you stop mistaking exhaustion for ambition, when you become the person that your younger you once needed, and your visions become clearer, you become home. That feeling, you become home within yourself. So no matter where you go, where you at, you feel safe within yourself. You feel secure within yourself. You don't need validation. You don't need appreciation. You don't need to acknowledge. You feel so good within that people are going to acknowledge you even if you didn't ask. People are going to validate you even when you didn't look, even when you wasn't looking for it. You know what I'm saying? People are going to tell you nice things even when you're not even, you're like, thanks. But I tell myself these things all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to end this off. So listen, if you're on this journey in your life where you're becoming the person the younger you needed or once wanted, if you're on this journey, please be patient with yourself. Please be patient with yourself. This isn't going to happen overnight. But you got to sit with yourself and ask yourself and write these things down. What was the younger me wishing I had? What kind of parent I wish I had? What kind of parenting? What do I wish I seen? What do I wish I did? And slowly but surely, you become that person, because realizing nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to become that person for you. That is your job. To put on your cape and do what you got to do. You get what I'm saying? So be patient with yourself. You're not late. You're not like, oh man, I'm at this age, it's too late. It is never too late. As long as you got breath in your lungs and hope in your heart, it is never too late. It's never too late. You're learning how to feel safe for the first time. Be patient. You're learning how to feel safe for the first time within yourself. Be patient. And that might be the bravest thing you ever do in your life, is becoming your own hero. That might be the bravest thing you do in your life. Just really think about that. All right? I appreciate you guys tapping in and getting this positivity. I appreciate you guys grabbing this energy. If you got some type of value from this live, comment the number 7 in the chat. If you got some value from this live, comment the number 7 in the chat, man. Comment the number 7 in the chat if you got some type of value from this live. I see you guys. Mia, right? Energy, I see you. Rhea, Victoria, Angelica, Nicole, Bepasita, I see you guys. Listen, Lisa, I see you guys, man. Seriously. Like, just sit with yourself for a moment today, whether it's in a car, whether it's in the bathroom, wherever you got, there means some little privacy for the moment. Thank you for the love. I appreciate you guys so much. Right? Jeepers, appreciate the love, brother. But literally, man, sit with yourself for a moment, even if it's 2 minutes. I pray that each and every one of you guys write some things down and like literally take this serious, right? Like, you don't just hear me, because right now I just give you information. The next step is knowledge, and the next step after that is wisdom. Information is something you can read or something you was given. Great. In order to turn it into knowledge, you have to know the information. How do you know it? By living it, by doing it. So I pray that everybody, I don't care if you don't have a journal, take a piece of paper and put at the top of the piece of paper, what was my younger self looking for? Or what does my younger self wish they had or wish they seen in a parent? In a parent. And then start writing things down. I wish I would have boom, boom, boom. I wish I would have boom, boom, boom. I wish I would have went here or did this or seen love or whatever it is. And as you write these things down, your last step is, my goal is to become what my younger self was looking for. I'm telling you what your younger self was looking for. I'm telling you, not only will you do a service to yourself, I promise you, you'll be doing a service to your kids. You'll be doing a service to your friends and your family. This ain't got nothing to do with them, but really it got everything to do with you. But the best part about it is when you start raising the roof, everybody around you has space to grow now, because nobody raised the roof. It's like that. Nobody raised the roof because they didn't know the glass ceiling had to be broken. But you did the self-healing. You understand what I'm saying? That's important. Keep that in mind. All right? Now, I love you guys. Now, real quick, before we get out of here, because I'm going to come back in an hour, right? Because I'm going to go work out real quick. But listen, I want you guys, everybody in here really quick. This is important. All right? I'm going to put it on the screen. You see this number on the screen. I want everybody, listen, I'm going to tell you what to do. Everybody screenshot that right now, that number on the screen. Everybody screenshot it. Right? Why is this important? Because we have a community that we created. The goal this year is to go live pro, right? But the goal is to do a positivity tour. Meaning, I want to go to city and do something positive in your city. I don't even have to be from your city, but I want to do something positive in your city, whether that's feeding the homeless in your city. And I want you to be a part of it. Whether that's talking to schools in your city, whether that's giving back to single parents in your city, whether that's doing a toy drive or whatever it is, at whatever time of the year it is, I want you to be a part of it. So I want you to screenshot that number, right? And I want everybody in here to text the number. All you're going to do is say, hey. You're going to text the number. When you text the number, you're going to get an automated response. It's going to say, welcome to Eazie to God's community, right? And there's going to be a link. I want you to click the link. When you click it, the only thing you got to do is put 3 things in there. Your name, your age, and what city you live in. Because it's going to let me know the demographic. I'm not going to know what city to go to if we don't have, you know what I mean? If you live in New York, but you put, I'm in Cali, and you're like, I'm originally from Cali, we pick Cali. When I go to Cali, you're going to miss it. So I want to know where we have the most people so I know where to start. If we got 45,000 people in Texas, we're going to start in Texas. You get me? So far, we had about 400. We had about 370 people part of our community so far. The goal is to get to 100,000. Everybody text the number. If you're already a part of it and you got a text from me today saying, hey, I'm about to be on live, then you're already a part of it. But if you haven't got that text from me, text the number. Just say, hey. You put those 3. Now, if you don't put those 3 things in your name, your city, and your age, I will never receive your text. It will never come through to me. You have to put those 3 things for me to get your text. If you don't put those 3 things, I'll never receive your text. So you'll never be part of the community. So when I do send out a text, you'll never receive it because you're not part of the community. You have to put those 3 things in. Okay? Make sure everybody got the number. Hopefully everybody got it, right? Everybody should have it. Listen, I'll be back in about an hour. I love you guys. Right? Be amazing. If I don't see you guys later today, have an amazing day. Spread light. Be the person that you want to attract in this world. And remember, you are the most important person in your life. You are the most important person in your life. Don't forget that. Okay? I love you guys. I'll see you guys in about an hour. I'll be back on live. We're going to have some fun. All right? Peace and love, chat. I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. Make sure you guys text that number if you haven't done it yet. All right? See you guys later. Let's do it. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this video, drop a comment. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. But we're going to do this at least 3 times a week. But this is really like the replay for anybody who's missed it, really. So grab the information. Drop your comments on how you feel. If there's things that maybe the version of you or the person you want to become, there's things that you wanted to write to your younger self, you can even write it in the comments so everybody can see it. Maybe that'd be awesome. But either way, share this video with somebody who can grab some value from it. And I love you guys. Be amazing. Be awesome. Be great. And remember, you are the most important person.